Boy, after this stretch of storms we've got for about the next 36 hours, we're going to have some hot weather. Boy, it's hot out there right now. Current temperature in Fort Smith's 88. With all that humidity, it feels like it's 98 degrees. Dew points in the mid-70s. That's some tropical air. Slightly better in Bentonville. 83 the actual air temperature, but it feels like it's 88 degrees. That, of course, the heat index. All that moisture is a key factor in tonight's severe weather potential. You'll notice it's going to be much higher. A red level 4 out of 5 risk from Tulsa back off towards the northwest. Those storms, as they track our direction after midnight tonight, they are going to be weakening. But they're not necessarily going to be weak. You get that, right? So they're still going to be strong, still potentially going to be severe, just not as strong as they are right now and will be over the next few hours. We're quiet out there right now this evening. Maybe you want to take care of getting some lawn furniture moved in, get the yard cleaned up, ready for some of those winds tonight. Not a bad idea. You'll be quiet out there for the next several hours. Here's 2 a.m. overnight tonight. Those storms are in northwest Arkansas. They're slowly but surely drifting off towards the south. We'll watch for the leading edge of this batch of storms for the strongest of winds. Up to 75 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. We're talking straight line winds. To be clear, that doesn't mean everyone gets that. That just means that where these storms meet their fullest potential, if they do, that's the ceiling. That's about as high as what we would get. You'll notice some pinks and some purples here. That's indicative of the potential for a little bit of hail to mix in on the leading edge of that storm system as well. And inevitably, in situations like this, wind's the most likely concern. The tornado threat's still there, though. It's low, I grant you that. It's low. It's not zero. It's not as low as I would like. So we'll be watching these storms overnight very closely. This is 4 a.m. We're rolling into the River Valley, eventually pushing out of the area, continuing to weaken as it does, but some rain likely continuing all up and down 49 and across I-40 throughout the first part of tomorrow morning. This is 6, 7 o'clock. We're seeing some conditions improve. Still a little bit of shower activity out there, and we'll have to watch for an additional round of thunderstorms tomorrow, especially in the afternoon and evening. That one's kind of conditional, meaning it's really going to come down to what happens tonight. When we look at the actual hazards one by one, you'll notice that the wind potential is the highest. In fact, we kind of bump into that red category there. That's the enhanced risk for some damaging winds, primarily Benton County, but not to negate the fact that there is that elevated risk there in yellow. Getting better the further south and east you go. Hail's going to concern. Here's the tornado potential on the left side of your television screen north of Interstate 40. It's low, but it's not necessarily zero, right? So we'll watch all these closely. Should tomorrow's storms actually materialize, we've got a level 2 out of 5 potential all across the area. This is really going to come down to how tonight's storms evolve, where they dissipate, how much energy do they use. There's going to be instability again tomorrow. All that is really going to be worked out once we see what happens overnight tonight. At any rate, here's what Futurecast thinks happens late tomorrow morning, early afternoon. A band of some strong storms moving into the area. We'll watch for a couple of more of those into the evening hours. And then I do think there's a potential for some early morning showers Thursday. This is well into the overnight hours again, primarily along and south of I-40, but those exiting the area before the sun even rises Thursday. Most of Thursday ends up being just fine. In addition to all of that, and I know you're sick of it, trust me, I am too, northwest Arkansas, northeast Oklahoma, potential for some flooding out there. Weather Service has issued a flood watch in effect for northwest Arkansas, northeast Oklahoma there until tomorrow afternoon. I think a lot of us 1 to 2 inches will be common, but if we get one of those thunderstorms bubble up, that could produce some really heavy rain really quickly. Right now, Futurecast thinks along and south of I-40 would be the better opportunity for that. We all could see some localized flooding, so we'll be mindful of that. 7-day forecast shows this. 72 overnight tonight, back up to 83 tomorrow, so not as hot, but certainly just as muggy. By Thursday and Friday, that high pressure is building in. We're going to start a dry stretch of weather, but with that high pressure also comes warmer temperatures. Gosh, low 90s out there, but with all that humidity, we'll actually have heat index values the rest of this week into this weekend in the upper 90s, low triple digits. But look at all that sunshine come Saturday and Sunday. When is the last time we had a totally dry weekend? I can't even remember. This weekend looking to be just that. Some nice weather out there. Going into next week, still staying warm, still staying muggy, with some pop-up showers possible. We're talking those typical summertime pop-ups that a few folks see here and there. They bubble up in the afternoon, but once that sun sets, they fizzle out. That 20% chance will continue for us on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Summer officially starts on Friday.
And that's going to be perfect weather for it.
It's going to feel a lot like summer often does around these parts.
Yes.
Yeah.